I'm the solution to the problem in my community because I know what it means to be forgiven and not deserve it. And I know the power of forgiveness and redemption, you know, that and it's very important. And I feel that I can understand people and not judge them, condemn them, you know, and understand that they can be rehabilitated, can be redeemed, you know, if they're receptive to it. And everyone's capable of forgiveness, I feel.
Well, my name's Miguel, and I believe the reason that I'm a solution in my community is, to me, community evokes a feeling of safety. And so I know I can picture myself, you know, on the streets, you know, back in society, getting into my car, and I know people are looking at me and saying, man, where's he going? What's he doing? And them not knowing, I think, makes them feel unsafe. So I'm using GOGI to help me by being approachable, by being positive, using those positive tools, because I realize that the world is judging me by my words and actions. So I'm always making sure that they stay positive, that I'm doing good things, and I'm approachable. I claim responsibility for my actions and make sure that, you know, I smile at my neighbors. You know, I give them that sense of safety, and I appear approachable. That way they feel comfortable and can say, hey, how you doing? And I can say, hey, my name's Miguel. You know, what can I help you with? What can I do for you, you know, to help you? I think that that's going to be a powerful impact in the community that I re-enter.
First off, number one, I care now. There was a time in my life where I cared about nobody but myself, and I was under the impression I cared about my family. But because of what I've done to end up in prison, I understand that I had a warped understanding of what it meant to care. I understand that my impact wasn't just on my immediate family, but my entire community. You know, people wake up in the morning, they read the news. You know, they see what I did. You know, and I know the magnitude of the impact that brought to the community of fear and confusion. I don't want my children growing up somewhere where they have to worry about walking to school in the morning. You know, I don't want my mother worrying about when she leaves the market if someone's gonna run up on her, try to hurt her in any way, take from her something that don't belong to them. You know, you have to first understand what it is to be the problem before you can be the solution. And the gentleman here, you know, we all have a really intimate understanding of that. You know, we discuss really intimate, personal events that took place in our lives. That's what's beautiful about this GOGI community. You know, each of us share really, really life-changing moments, and we learn from each other. You know, one of my brothers was talking about how there's a community out here that we can't escape. We live basically in a virtual fishbowl. You know, you have to figure out how to deal with problems when they start or very soon after, you know, in the most diplomatic way. And you have no choice but to, or else things can just go south really fast. Having a community like this, you know, together we're the solution. You know, one person alone is not the solution. One person can bring change by suggestion, can be that example to bring change. And I believe that, you know, that's where it starts. And I believe I have the tools necessary now to be that solution, you know, or at least a partaker in it.
I'm part of the solution today because I strive to carry out my mission statement, which is I create a world of tolerance by practicing empathy and compassion. GOGI has taught me that I can impact my culture, and so one interaction at a time, one individual at a time, I strive to carry that mission into whatever culture I'm a part of currently, and I will take that with me once paroled and on the street as well.
Frank, I love following these guys because they always give me good stuff to feed on. GOGI helped me realize that this is not a me society, it's a we society. And this has just changed me so much. I was in a shell, and now I'm open. Probably a lot of people wish I'd have stayed in the shell, but I'm out here, you know, communicating now. And it's something that I'm not comfortable with a lot of times, but I believe that it's helping me, and I'm feeding on it, and I hope everybody helps me out, just keep on pushing me.
My name is Jason Baker. I was never really a team player. These guys helped me a lot. I was always down, didn't care. Still working on it. These guys helped me a lot. I'm part of like the EOP program, and those in there that have problems in that part of the community, I help a lot.
There you go.
Absolutely.
So I know I can help those out there that have the same issues as well as I do and they do. So I think I am the solution.
There you go.
One of the key things that these men have been saying is that, you know, we now possess an awareness, you know, of what we've done. I think it goes a little bit deeper. Is that our awareness is that for the crimes that we've committed, the harms we've caused, is that there's people still out there suffering because of those things that we've done. You know, it's 30 years now since I've committed my crime, and I know that these people are still suffering. They're going to suffer 35 years, 40 years, 50 years from now. They're still going to be suffering, and I'm responsible for that. It's not something to be proud of. It's something I'm really ashamed of, and I wish I could change. So being the solution is to sit there and know that I can to not be that problem, to go out there and find people who might be suffering the way I was and help them get through that. And that's what I hope I'll be able the opportunity to do.
I am the solution because I no longer am going to perpetuate the same behavior that ended me in prison in the first place.
Amen.
That's it. I am the solution because I am no longer going to perpetuate the same behavior that put me in prison.
I'm the solution because I'm no longer the problem. Like you said when you introduced this question, I know I'm not the problem anymore because I'm not criminal-minded anymore. I had to understand a lot before I came to the point that I understand what the solution is. I had to understand what the problem is, like another brother over there said. And the problem is being criminal-minded, not caring. You know, being having ill will, right? And a lot of people don't know that out there. I didn't know that out there, you know. I've been in here 22 years since I was a kid, and I didn't understand that at that point. I didn't understand what community was for, how it all came to be. I've come to understand all that. That's insight. And what I had to understand was the value of being a good man versus being a criminal. It's much more valuable for me to be a good man. So how do I switch that? I had to understand my disposition. My disposition was, for me, selfish before. I didn't care. So it has to come with caring. Like another brother over there down the way said, his mission statement. My mission statement is creating a world of caring by helping. So what I had to do first and foremost to become a solution is to make a decision in my heart to stop harming, period. To stop causing harm. And I had to start all over, you know. And when I started all over, I started off with that clean slate from that disposition. And now I'm willing to help. Now the ultimate freedom, you know, it's all about service. That helps you in that. Once you've already come to that point, it takes a lot. But I know because of where my heart is, I have 9 years clean, disciplinary free. I've had some instances in between there where it could have gone all bad, but by the grace of God go I. And I have 9 years out of these 22 years incarcerated, and I've done a lot of rehabilitation. I didn't have a former better nature to go to, what rehabilitation presupposes. So I had to create it. I had to reform. And I had to start from the highest, which is virtue, human excellence, moral excellence, and try to live up to that standard. With that, that's how I live my life now. Even though I'm in here for a very serious crime, and in probably 2 years I'll be a neighbor out there. But trust and believe, my heart is in the right place. I know this, even though nobody knows my heart. In my heart, I made a decision. I will cause no more harm.
Society is changing constantly. Community has needs, you know, and because life out there is evolving, there's a need for us to evolve in here as well, you know. But evolving, it doesn't come easy. It takes hard work. It takes commitment. It takes work ethic. It takes qualities and values that GOGI facilitates to us. See, going through the journey of recovery for us here, GOGI facilitates us a road to follow, you know, and charts a course towards recovery by looking at ourselves and what are the areas, what are the values that we uphold, so that we can now in turn go and make that change in our community. Because society is changing and is evolving while we are being still in here. We have need to practice these tools of change, tools of creation, tools of the body, so that we can be the best individual, can go out there and be of service, you know. But of course, it's going to take a lot more than just words. It's going to take actions. It's going to take us practicing the things that we say that we are, you know. So, you know, just to wrap it all up, you know, for me personally, GOGI has helped me mature into the person that I am today by practicing daily the disciplines of love and respect for my neighbor.
Me becoming the solution to the problems in the community started with realizing that I needed help. Starting with realizing that I needed unmerited favor, I needed forgiveness, I needed redemption, that I needed others outside of myself to help me. I was in a place where I couldn't help myself. And in being in that place, I gave my life to God, to Jesus. And in doing that, once I received His unmerited favor, His grace, and His love, that enabled me to love others. Because prior to that, I didn't love anybody but myself. And now that I'm able to love others, I'm selfless. At least I try to be at times anyway. And I go out of my way to help others. I realize now that I'm part of a community. I'm not just living around people, but I'm actually interconnected intimately with them. And that being said, like my brother Jill said earlier, if someone else is hurting, I'm hurting. So when I see another person hurting in the community, I go out of my way to help them. And that extends much further than just my immediate community, which is the brothers around me, but throughout the whole world. And I know I'm not the world's solution, I understand that. But I also understand that by coming to groups and in my maturity, my walk with Christ, I now have the tools which some GOGI has provided me to help others, to meet a need, not all needs, but a need. And I'm now in a position to do that. So I look for those opportunities. Community to me is vital. I cannot live without the next man. I cannot live without other people. We're dependent upon each other for so many things, like I said earlier, I'm an individual part of the whole. And if I can be of service in any way, I understand, and I try to do that.
When I first came to incarcerated 9 years ago for killing a family member, I first came to jail. I just messed around. I didn't take anything serious because I thought I had a life sentence, 25 to life, and I may not get out, but I hope I do someday. But I am the solution because the last 2 years or so I've been in the solution by getting into recovery and changing my ways and doing these self-help groups and becoming a better person and helping others. So that's why I know I'm the solution.
GOGI, GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI, GOGI told me this, I got the tools to live by. GOGI, GOGI.